All right, time now for the news from the left. If you thought COVID restrictions in this country were getting out of hand, you ain't seen nothing yet. Australia has taken this to a whole other level. In Sydney, they've been completely locked down, which can you imagine after all this time still being, told to stay inside? They got police on the streets, making sure nobody's out there, the army on the streets. Imagine that 18 months into a pandemic. In an effort to minimize contact between individuals as they try to reopen, the chief health officer of New South Wales is telling people not to talk to each other regardless of vaccination status. Take a listen to this.
Whilst it is in human nature to engage in conversation with others, to be friendly, unfortunately, this is not the time to do that. So even if you run into your next door neighbour in the shopping centre, in the Coles, whilst you're at Coles or Woolworths or Aldi or any other grocery shop, don't start up a conversation.
Even if you're vaccinated, wearing a mask, don't even think about talking to each other? Can you imagine? You're outside at the grocery store. Hey, there's Fred. Stay the hell away, Fred. I'm vaccinated with a mask, but I can't talk to you. Next week, they're going to tell you to barricade inside your home until the year 2050. But if you really want to avoid COVID, you could also just jump off a tall building. That way you definitely won't get it. Just make sure you wear your mask before you jump. Next up, Princeton University jumping on the CRT bandwagon with a new course titled Black Lives Matter. According to the New Jersey University's website, the course traces the historical roots and growth of the Black Lives Matter social movement in the United States. Well, we can tell you where that came from. It's just Marxism disguised. Additionally, it offers a critical examination of the prison industrial complex, police brutality, urban poverty, and white supremacy in the U.S., which of course we know is everywhere. These white supremacists are all around us at all times. Of course, this is being taught by, the course is being taught by Assistant Professor Hannah Garth, whose website notes her commitment to feminist methodologies and critical race theory. I can't imagine who she voted for. One of the books being studied is by Angela Davis, who twice ran to be vice president on the Communist Party ticket. Lovely woman there. As a young Black Panther, Davis was once even on the FBI's most wanted list and had the same hair. Accused of providing weapons in a 1970 courtroom shooting that left 4 people dead in California, including a judge. She is just a lovely person. Of course she should be at Princeton, because welcome to America in 2021, the land of idiots. At the time, President Richard Nixon called Davis a dangerous terrorist, and now she's teaching rich white kids how to hate themselves. Next, college is already a bit of a ripoff, and one greedy school has figured out a way to make even more money by profiting off the pandemic. West Virginia Wesleyan College says it will charge a $750 fee to students who aren't vaccinated for COVID-19 for the fall semester. According to the college's website, it's non-refundable, $750. Will be charged to all students who have not provided a proof of vaccination, full vaccination, or first shot toward vaccination by September 7th. Here is the kicker. If you do test positive for COVID and are unable to quarantine off campus, the school will charge $250 to do so on campus. None of this will make anybody any safer from COVID-19. It is purely a money-making scheme. That's all it is. It is higher education at its finest. Finally, on Monday, we showed you this headline here. A major report warns climate change accelerating and humans must cut emissions now. The results of a UN study on global warming. Well, the Biden administration has effectively made climate change an emergency in this country, despite, ironically, begging OPEC to produce more oil just today. More on that coming up after the break. But the administration has done everything to weaken American energy independence, a virtue signal to the far left branch of their party. Democrats this week want to spend $3 trillion in part fighting climate change as part of their human infrastructure bill. Yet not too long ago, in fact, very recently, the top Democrat in the party bragged about his contributions to American energy independence. Take a listen to Barack Obama in 2018 and think about just how far this party has moved in the last 3 years.
I know we're an oil country, and we need American energy, and by the way, American energy production. You wouldn't always know it, but you know, it went up every year I was president. And you know, that whole suddenly America's like the biggest oil producer and the biggest that was me, people. I just want you to. So.
And to a roaring applause. This is the same party that today says that we have to stop emitting everything or we're all going to die in 10 minutes.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.